what we're going to do here is we're going to go through a series of 6 passes through this pair of roundabouts. We're going to go basically west to east first, and then backwards, and then again we'll do it that same thing in both directions 3 times total. So a total of 6 passes through the roundabout, or a pair of roundabouts rather. So through each I'll kind of record the results after, and then we'll kind of collect our thoughts at the end of this here and kind of see how 10.69.25.2 did. Okay, right off the bat, this is pass number 1 here of the roundabout set here. We're going to need to get over to the left lane if we want to actually, make this. And now it's trying to signal to get over. It's doing it way too late, though. Let's see if it figures itself out. It's trying, but it's kind of hung off in no man's land here. So it did slow down and actually figure it out. Good job there, figuring it out. Obviously, it was a bit rougher on the edges, but 0 disengagement for me. Didn't have to give any throttle input either. If there would have been somebody behind us, I think that would have resulted in that. So looks like it's making the same issue again, where it sees the lane markings, but it's not figuring itself out. Let's see if it's going to... Yeah, so it ends up doing the right thing at the end and going the right direction. Obviously, the way that it did that, though, unfortunately, was not the result we really wanted. We wanted to stay to the left. So, I would be very suspicious to say that the map data for this pair of roundabouts is probably not there, either non-existent or just out of date. So, the lane guidance module is probably fighting bad map data, and that's kind of where our problems probably, originate from. So anyways, that was pass 1. I'll consider that a pass because I didn't have to disengage. But again, that was more of a circumstantial pass because had somebody been behind us, we would have had to press the throttle, and I have a feeling it probably would have had an issue. So anyways, we'll have 5 more passes of this pair of roundabouts that we can kind of compare against. So see you in a bit. All right, this is pass number 2 through our roundabouts. This is from the other direction now. Now we're going to be going east to west here. Pretty close to the snowbank there. I would not have let it go another inch. Otherwise, we would have been making some contact there. But good job with that roundabout. That one back there has never really been an issue. So it's the one up here that seems to have usually 2 lanes kind of going into it that's a bit more difficult. So again, looks like we're trying to pick the turn lane. It's figuring out that's probably not the way to go. It's kind of, again, fighting itself. I would say there's more hesitation than I've ever seen before. But what's kind of hilarious is that it ultimately does the right thing and goes through it. So, again, just 0 disengagements, but again, there was nobody behind us. So, it's a pass, but barely. So, we're going to go back through and go for pass number 3 here in a second. All right, this is pass number 3 of the roundabout test here. So, again, we're going from west to east this time. And this is usually the more problematic of the 2. So carrying a little bit too much speed here, slowing down pretty smoothly. And again, you're kind of seeing we're kind of going diagonal across the lanes here. Staying clear of the center curbing though. That part is at least of an improvement. Again, the lane selection though up front needs to be correct, like right from this point here. And you see we don't get it right usually until like the very last second. But again, there's nobody behind us, so the car has some time to kind of figure itself out. And, as you can see here, it does get it right. So again, it's a pass, but it's not pretty. So, yeah, so 3 passes off the bat here. Sorry about that. Mid-thought my GoPro cut me off. So anyways, yeah, we've seen some potential improvements with the avoidance of the center of the roundabouts. The curbing, we stay further away from that. It could be just because of a bit of the snow that we have on the ground towards the inside. But, other than that, we have had 3 passes so far, so that's good to see. But again, I think if there was a bit more traffic, we would definitely have probably some more disengagements because it's making the lane selection adjustments way too late, in my opinion. So anyways, that was test number 3. Again, 3 passes so far. Let's see what test number 4 has in store for us. This is pass number 4 now, from east to west. Okay, no issues there. Again, that roundabout continues to get aced by FSD, so good stuff there. A little bit of unnecessary acceleration towards the end there. I mean, again, if it was using the map data, I would hope that it would slow down a bit more, knowing that there's another roundabout coming up, but Doing a good job staying all the way to the left. Got a car to our left here. He's not turning, but we're stopping anyways. That was unnecessary. Again, nobody was behind us though, so no disengagement or whatever. So steering inputs were good. I'm going to report the abrupt braking at the end there. That was not needed. Again, I know it's being cautious, but yeah. So that was, again, test number 4. Another pass, not a pretty one, but a pass nonetheless. So I'm going to spin around. We'll do pass number 5 here and go from there. All right, this is pass number 5 here. We're starting off with the wrong lane selection. Let's see if it figures itself out here. We do have some traffic behind us. There's a bit of room between us. So we were making the right move towards the end. Still signaling to the left, not sure why. Okay. So a couple errors there, but ultimately the steering inputs were correct. So again, now we're getting in the wrong lane. Let's see if we're going to figure itself out. A little bit of abrupt braking here. It's having a tough time right now with this one. This is probably one of the worst attempts yet. But again, we had enough of a gap between us and the cars behind us where I didn't have to press the throttle or disengage. So again, a pass, but not a pretty one. None of these have been pretty, where we've picked the right lane from the start. So I'm going to do a final pass going back the opposite way, and then we'll regroup from there. All right, this is going to be the 6th and final pass of our roundabout pair here. So again, FSD, I expect to nail this roundabout. It's a pretty easy one. There's only one lane going into it, so pretty straightforward there. You know, the outer edge of the snow, where the snow is there, I think is helping it out a little bit here through here, but it's this next one that's always the problematic one. A little too much speed coming into this here, but again, we're staying in the right lane, but you saw some pretty hard braking there, almost to the point where ABS kicked in. So nobody's behind us, so it wasn't a problem. I didn't have to press the throttle, but again, not smooth. So technically a pass, but you know, this is, on paper it's going to look like FSD did a great job here going 6 for 6, but as you can see, the lane selection issues pretty much remain. The only difference is the steering inputs really helped us out. So maybe there's a minor improvement with the ultimate decision, but I think part of that's just luck because of the fact that, you know, we didn't have cars breathing down our neck, which would have maybe pushed it into a bad decision, because it planner to get confused a few times as it was entering the roundabout what way it wanted to go. So again, it looks like more work needs to be done with the lane guidance module. It doesn't seem to be reading the markings on the road, which are mostly visible. So I feel like if it could read that plus the sign that you would have seen maybe 100 feet from the roundabout, the car could get in the right lane earlier and then make the right decision right off the bat. And if it does that, it's going to get it right every single time, because the rest of the foundation's there for this to work and work more reliably. So hopefully in version 11 or a subsequent 69.25 release, if they're going to do that, we'll make some big improvements here. But anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.